could all rise for our pledge of allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, clerk. Could you please call the roll?
Trustee Khan is absent with notice.
Thank you.
Trustee Minks.
Here.
Trustee Sheba.
Here.
Trustee Thill.
Here.
Trustee Travis.
Here.
Trustee Whitko.
Here.
Thank you very much. I need approval of our regular meeting minutes from December 12th, 2023.
I'll make the motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of December 12th, 2023.
Second.
Motion made by trustee Mink, seconded by trustee Whitko. Any discussions, questions, clarification? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Special reports, there are none. Public hearings, there are none. Plan commission reports, there are none. Residents' comments, this is on agenda items. I will call up Bob Burkhart.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yep.
I wish to speak on the ordinance 2401, which is being introduced tonight. Even though it does not directly mention what we're really talking about, we're talking about the matter of immigrants being dropped off in buses, I'm sure. And that's a big issue from Central America for communities like ours. And so, like many other communities, you're proposing to take an action that would restrict that kind of thing. And certainly we're limited in terms of the resources that we have as a community. If we had a busload of 50 or more people, it would be impossible to food and clothe and house and so forth people. I don't have any issue with that. But at the same time, I'm troubled a little bit by the tone because it avoids the aspect of the serious situation that we face, where people so desperate are walking thousands of miles to get away from the unbearable situations that they live in. There's something missing. On one hand, we say we are amazingly open, and the other hand, we say we don't want the other in our village. Now, what I would like to see is, I have no problem with the ordinance as it is, but I'd like to see us go further. Some kind of affirmation that we as a community are a welcoming community, regardless of where people come from, a supportive spirit. It would be a positive gesture to encourage our own Morton Grove spiritual communities. I don't see much from many spiritual communities doing stuff about feeding and clothing and housing and so forth, people in need. It's about time people step up to help folks regardless of the situation that they come from for housing and care and food and so forth. Might we encourage our people to get involved, groups and so forth, to get involved, not necessarily in Morton Grove, but wherever the need is in helping in the resettlement, because we're dealing with human beings, not animals. Perhaps maybe even some of our village entities could think about this in ways that we could respond positively without just saying we don't want to do this, but to say what we can do to alleviate this situation regardless of our politics, because it's here and it's with us. And so let's do something in a positive way.
Next up on agenda items, I'm going to call Denise up. I know you didn't fill out the form, but you're going to speak on trustee Whitko's ordinance 2332, I believe.
I am. Thank you so much.
Sure.
I appeared in front of the zoning board, I think it was. So I don't need to go into the same level of detail that I did there, but I'm a 16-year resident of Morton Grove. I've raised 3 children here. I reside on Mormora with my husband. Before I go into my experience, I just want to tell you I'm an active patron of short-term rentals. So I use Airbnbs when I travel. I had a very unfortunate experience when my next-door neighbor decided to vacate his premises and turn his home into a non-regulated hotel. And I saw people coming and going, staying hours, staying days, staying weeks, some repeated. Decided there was obviously something going on and found the house listed on Airbnb for $30 to $40 a night. I had a very unfortunate and scary encounter with a man outside my door who was smoking from that house at 3 o'clock in the morning when I had to let my dog out. I will say that Airbnbs, I feel, create a lot of opportunity with people for ill intent. I don't have ill intent. I use them. I travel. In the last meeting, there was a woman here who claimed that my experience was isolated and that that's not what happens. It is what happens. If you look up studies, crime increases. I could go on and on. All that I really want to say is that I've had an unfortunate experience, and I would ask you to consider the comfort and the safety of the residents before deciding if you're going to move forward.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't think we have any other comments on our agenda items. Ashbach is non-agenda items. Sean is non-agenda items. Okay, so we'll get to them when we get to the non-agenda items, so you know. President's report, I have a appointment tonight. I'd like to get a motion to appoint Mark Warwath to our Environmental and Natural Resource Commission, ENRC, obviously. So if I could just get that, that'd be great.
I'll make the motion to approve Mark Worth to the Environmental and Natural Resource Commission.
I second it.
Motion made by trustee Minks, seconded by trustee Sheba to appoint Mark Warwath to our ENRC. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. I do want to mention something that seems like not a lot of people are aware of, but today is National Law Enforcement Day, so I just wanted to give a shout out to Chief. If you have a police officer that's a friend or a family member, today is National Law Enforcement Day. It's the perfect time, I think every day is the perfect time to show officers and understand how difficult their jobs are. So it's important to show officers how much we understand their difficult work and appreciate their sacrifice and risk, because that's what it is. And it's getting, as to Bob's point, it's getting tougher and tougher with some of these immigration things that are happening. So, Chief, I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart and the village board that we appreciate everything you do day in and day out. Not that we don't you, Ralph. We love our fire department too, but it's National Law Enforcement Day. It's his night tonight. Anyway, Chief, if you could pass that on. And know that we're here for you. And as I say it all the time, I'm really not afraid to say it, and I will back the blue all the time, and I will absolutely fund the police as much as we can. So thank you very much. Thank you. Couple things. Now we're going to go back to the fire department here. We have a Citizens Police and Fire Academy. This year's program will take place for 12 weeks from 6:30 to 8:30 every Wednesday from March 6th till May 22nd. Register to participate if you are interested in getting an up-close look at what police and firefighters do. The Citizens Police and Fire Academy, like I said, is a 12-week program, one block of instructions per week. It's designed to give participants an understanding of the operation of the Morton Grove Police and Fire Departments and a working knowledge of what law enforcement and firefighting is all about. Academy classes are held once a week, every Wednesday, about 2 hours in duration. The classes will be held at the Morton Grove Village Hall right here from approximately 6:30 to 8:30 p.m., and each class will be limited to 20 students. So register early. There's no cost for this. I think it's a great program. We've had a lot of success, and it helps people understand what both of those departments do. Also, February, right around the corner, I can't believe it, but it's going to be Celebrate National Restaurant Month in February. So we've done this a few years now, I think. Get ready for National Restaurant Month in Morton Grove. You can win one of 10 $25 gift cards. To enter, you submit a photo for you, your friends, or your family dining at a Morton Grove restaurant. Submit that by February, end of February 20. Take the receipts from February from the Morton Grove restaurant that total at least $25. They're due by Monday, March 11th. Dine-in, takeout, and delivery are all eligible. So if you're out and you're spending $25 at a Morton Grove restaurant in February, keep the receipt and get yourself into this raffle, so to speak, so that you can win the gift cards, $25 gift cards. Winning entries will be announced at the March 19th Village Board meeting, and there will be one winner per household. So that's really all I have on my end. Again, thanks, Chief, for all you guys and girls do over at our police department. Other than that, I have no business. Clerk's report.
No report, Your Honor.
Thank you, staff report. Village administrator.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I hope this is on. Why they give me a backup? Test. Thank you. Before I present ordinance 24-01, wanted to remind the village once again about the holiday light recycling. We want to recycle properly. We want to make sure that recycling is accomplished correctly. And certainly if you put regular lights or decorative lights from your holiday decorations into the recycling bin, it's going to tangle some of the equipment and really be a problem. So we have the opportunity to recycle holiday lights here at Village Hall in a separate bin, which does it right, and it's part of the Solid Waste Agency of Northern Cook County's program and Elgin Recycling. Please bring your strings of lights when you're frustrated with them coming off your trees. And if they don't work and you don't want to put them away, please bring them to Village Hall so they're disposed of properly. Don't leave the garland, leave the live greens, the wreaths, and the other decorations at home or in proper disposal, but please bring us the lights and the strings. The other thing I wanted to mention is thank you, Mayor, for bringing up the Restaurant Month. We're going to add something new this year. For this year, we're going to have an opportunity for coupons, have restaurants have the opportunity to sign up, be on our website, and have coupons for residents to go in and enjoy their restaurants. So far, we've had a couple restaurants indicate that they're interested in doing this program, and we'll put these coupons on the village social media, and then you can visit the restaurants, also participate in celebration with the Dine Morton Grove program. So good thing, things are going well with that, and we really look forward to an exciting February for our restaurants, which are fabulous. Now, before you this evening is Ordinance 24-01, amending Title V, entitled Motor Vehicles and Traffic, Chapter 4, Rules of the Road, to regulate certain charter bus services within the village of Morton Grove. This will be introduced this evening, and then due to the safety aspects of this ordinance and this condition, at the end of my little presentation, I'd like to ask the board to waive the second reading and actually go for a vote to make this law into our code books. So the purpose of this is to amend, as I indicated, Title V, Chapter 4 of the Municipal Code. This is from a background standpoint. The City of Chicago recently passed an ordinance restricting the drop-off of inbound migrants to a specific landing zone with limited hours and capacity. Bus drivers failing to comply with the city's ordinance are subject to both severe fines and impounding. As a result, the buses have been dropping off migrants in suburbs, especially those with metro stations like ours. The drop-offs are unscheduled and can place a significant burden on the receiving municipality to provide temporary support and or transportation to route passengers to the designated landing zone in the city of Chicago, which is the right place for these individuals to go to. The state is supporting that, and they are a good place to move them towards. The village has significant concerns with the health and safety of residents and potential passengers who could be dropped off unannounced within the village. Passengers dropped off outside the metro scheduled service hours would be unable to find transportation to the designated drop-off zone or landing zone in Chicago, and therefore is limited shelter for inclement weather available on site. Further, unscheduled drop-offs could occur without village knowledge, leaving passengers exposed to the elements and without food and water. The purpose of the ordinance amends Title V, Chapter 4 of the Municipal Code and regulates private chartered bus services that will drop off 10 or more passengers within the village of Morton Grove. This ordinance does not apply to PACE or Metro buses, cabs, limousines, ride shares, or buses that operate pursuant to a published schedule or round-trip services. The ordinance requires covered buses, covered by this code, expressed to dropped off 10 or more people and submit a permit at least 10 calendar days before their expected arrival in Morton Grove. The application requires contact information for the operator of the bus, proof of insurance, proof of licensing, and a plan for housing and feeding of the people to be dropped off. Drop-offs are limited to the Morton Grove Metro Station or an alternate designated location approved by the police chief during specific dates and times. And a detailed plan identifies how the individuals being dropped off will be cared for, housed, and fed, either temporarily or permanently. A violation of the ordinance will result in fines of $750 per occurrence per day and impounding of the vehicle. We would ask that the second reading be waived and the board pass this ordinance.
Need a motion to waive our second reading for the night of ordinance 24-01.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by trustee Thill, seconded by trustee Minks. Any discussions, questions, clarification? Hearing none, clerk, please call the vote.
Trustee Minks?
Aye.
Trustee Sheba?
Aye.
Trustee Thill?
Aye.
Trustee Travis?
Aye.
Trustee Whitko?
Aye.
The request to waive the second read on ordinance 24-01 passes 5-0, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Now I need a motion to approve ordinance 24-01 as presented.
I'll make the motion to approve ordinance 2401.
I could second it.
Motion is made by trustee Minks, seconded by trustee Sheba to approve ordinance 24-01. Any questions, discussion, clarification? Hearing none, clerk, please call the vote.
Trustee Sheba?
Aye.
Trustee Thill?
Aye.
Trustee Travis?
Aye.
Trustee Whitko?
Aye.
Trustee Minks?
Aye.
Ordinance 24-01 passes 5-0, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. End of my report.
Thank you, Ralph. Corporation Counsel. Trustee reports by trustees. Trustee Khan is absent with notice tonight. Trustee Minks.
No report.
Thank you. Trustee Sheba.
Yes, Your Honor. I have Resolution 2401, authorizing a contractual agreement with BSNA Software LLC for the licensing, implementation, and maintenance of software for the Finance and Building and Inspectional Services Department. This is to authorize the village administrator to execute a contract with BSNA Software LLC of Bath, Michigan for the licensing, implementation, and maintenance software for the Finance and Building and Inspectional Service Departments. The village recognizes the need to utilize a software solution to improve the management, business, process, workflow, and record-keeping for the Finance and Building and Inspectional Services Departments, and is satisfied with its current provider, BSNA Software LLC. However, the IT manager has been informed that BSNA is phasing out its sale and maintenance plans for desktop software licenses and will only sell and service cloud-based software in the near future. Utilizing cloud-based software will provide village staff with greater efficiencies and flexibilities, as information can be added or viewed remotely. Following vendor presentation and demonstrations, along with subsequent staff meetings, the Finance and Building Departments and Information Technology Divisions are recommending the new software be purchased from BSNA Software LLC of Bath, Michigan for $103,360 in 2024. The contract also provides for annual maintenance of the software beginning in 2025 at a cost of $65,000 per year. The price will not change for the first 2 years. The cost increases thereafter will be limited to increases in the Consumer Price Index, all urban customers, U.S. city average. I move this resolution be approved as read.
I'll second that.
Motion made by trustee Sheba, seconded by trustee Thill. Any discussion, questions, clarifications? Hearing none, clerk, please call the vote.
Trustee Thill?
Aye.
Trustee Travis?
Aye.
Trustee Whitko?
Aye.
Trustee Minks?
Aye.
Trustee Sheba?
Aye.
Resolution 24-01 passes 5-0, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Just wanted to wish everyone here a very happy new year. Thank you all for showing up today. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, trustee Sheba. Trustee Thill.
Yes, Your Honor, I have a couple of resolutions here. I have Resolution 2402. It's authorizing a contract with Core and Main of Carroll Stream, Illinois, for the 2024 fire hydrant replacement program. I move that we approve Resolution 2402.
Second.
Motion made by trustee Thill, seconded by trustee Travis. Any discussion, question, clarifications on resolution 24-02? Hearing none, clerk, please call the vote.
Trustee Travis?
Aye.
Trustee Whitko?
Aye.
Trustee Minks?
Aye.
Trustee Sheba? Trustee Thill?
Aye.
Resolution 24-02 passes 5-0, Your Honor.
I have Resolution 2403. It's authorizing a contract with Alliance Electric Company Incorporated to replace the generator at Fire Station 5. I move we accept Resolution 2403.
Second?
Motion's been made by trustee Thill, seconded by trustee Travis. Any discussion, questions, clarifications on Resolution 24-03? Hearing none, clerk, please call the vote.
Trustee Whitko? Aye. Trustee Minks?
Aye.
Trustee Sheba?
Aye.
Trustee Thill?
Aye.
Trustee Travis?
Aye.
Resolution 24-03 passes 5-0, Your Honor.
Thank you.
My next three resolutions are for the same purpose, and I will read the background on this one. The village has developed improvements to Austin Avenue that include partial reconstruction and resurfacing of Austin Avenue, storm and sanitary sewer improvements, traffic signal modernization at Austin Avenue and Oakton Street, curb ramp upgrades, pavement patching, and sanitary sewer at Oakton Street. The village has received state and federal fundings to pay for the construction and the construction engineering cost. Additional funding will be provided by the Illinois Department of Transportation and will require matching funds from the village. The use of these funds require that a joint funding agreement with IDOT. This resolution will authorize and require the joint funding agreements for this project, which is estimated to be a total cost of $4,869,790,000. And with $2,737,274 of federal funding, $98,550 from the state, and $2,033,966 from the local village funding. Now I'll go with my resolutions. I have Resolution 2004. It's authorizing an agreement with Ciorba Group Incorporated to provide construction engineering services for Austin Avenue improvement. MFT Services, Section 12-00106-00-PV. I move we accept Resolution 2404.
Second.
Motion made by trustee Thill, seconded by trustee Whitko. Any discussion, questions, clarifications, Resolution 24-04? Hearing none, clerk, please call the vote.
Trustee Minks?
Aye.
Trustee Sheba?
Aye.
Trustee Thill?
Aye.
Trustee Travis?
Aye.
Trustee Whitko?
Aye.
Resolution 24-04 passes 5-0, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I have Resolution 2405. It's authorizing an agreement with the Illinois Department of Transportation for the Austin Avenue improvement. MFT Section 12-00106-00-PV. I move we accept Resolution 2405.
Second.
Motion made by trustee Thill, seconded by trustee Whitko to approve Resolution 24-05. Any questions, discussions, clarifications? Hearing none, clerk, please call the vote.
Trustee Sheba?
Aye.
Trustee Thill?
Aye.
Trustee Travis?
Aye.
Trustee Whitko?
Aye.
Trustee Minks?
Aye.
Resolution 24-05 passes 5-0, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I have Resolution 2406. It's authorizing the appropriation of motor fuel tax funds for the Austin Avenue improvement. MFT Section 12-00106-00-PV. I move we accept Resolution 2406.
Second.
Motion made by trustee Thill, seconded by trustee Minks to approve Resolution 24-06. Any discussions, questions, clarification? Hearing none, clerk, please call the vote.
Trustee Thill?
Aye.
Trustee Travis?
Aye.
Trustee Whitko?
Aye.
Trustee Minks?
Aye.
Trustee Sheba?
Aye.
Resolution 24-06 passes 5-0, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I just wish everybody a Happy New Year. End of my report.
Thank you. Next up, trustee Travis.
Thank you, Your Honor. As the liaison to the police department, I also wanted to acknowledge National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day and extend my and the board's appreciation and thanks to all of our police officers who work tirelessly to keep Morton Grove safe. Our officers demonstrate dedication, compassion, empathy, and bravery day in and day out. So thank you, Chief, for all you and your officers do every day. End of my report.
Beautiful. Trustee Whitko.
Thank you. Tonight I'm presenting for a second reading ordinance 23-32, which approves a text amendment to modify and establish regulations relating to short-term dwelling units in Morton Grove. As presented, this ordinance legalizes short-term rentals and creates standards for their operation. At the last board meeting, I expressed my concerns with legalization of this use. Based on what I've learned about short-term rentals and how they've already affected our residents, I do not believe the use is a good fit for the community. Short-term rentals have the potential to generate an unacceptable level of disruption to neighbors and neighborhoods, and the village can only be reactionary when problems arise. I believe pressure on staff to enforce requirements and respond to complaints would be burdensome, and I personally would feel uncomfortable if a short-term rental existed next to my home. I'd like to note that the amendment originally presented by staff to the Plan Commission in August of 2023 clarified the existing prohibition on short-term rental units to assist with enforcement efforts against properties operating rentals illegally. For discussion purposes only, I move to accept ordinance 2332 as presented.
Second.
Motion made by trustee Whitko, seconded by trustee Travis. Any discussions?
And
Question, clarifications?
And for the reasons previously noted, I move that this ordinance be continued to the January 23rd, 2024 meeting, and that staff prepare an amendment to ordinance 23-32 to incorporate the original language presented by staff to confirm and clarify the current prohibition of short-term dwelling units.
Second.
So you're proposing to table it until our next meeting? Or
There's
to-
going to be amendments made to it to go back to what it originally stated in August, where it prohibited it, the use.
So your motion is to table this and revert back to, say it again?
To the amendments made and presented at the August 2023 Plan Commission meeting.
So there's a motion to table and amend the proposed ordinance 23-32 till our next meeting, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
At that time.
So a motion's been made by trustee Whitko, seconded by trustee Travis to table and amend ordinance number 23-32. Any discussion?
Yes. At that time, are we going to be seeing all the documentation that the Plan Commission saw regarding this ordinance? Is that necessary?
You have a right to ask for and to see anything that you want.
Okay, because I was unable to attend all of the meetings. I attended some of them, and I don't know that I have seen all the documentation. I've received several emails, as I'm sure all of you have, regarding this ordinance, and I would like to see more documentation of the things going forward, as well as some of the documentation that I believe that's out there from our surrounding communities, some that have something similar and some that have not voted for them. Is that possible?
Anything you would like to request, we can give you.
Okay. Yes.
So the motion's out there to table and amend ordinance 23-32. Clerk, please call the vote.
Trustee Travis? Aye. Trustee Whitko?
Aye.
Trustee Minks?
Aye.
Trustee Sheba?
Aye.
Trustee Thill?
No.
The table and amending of ordinance 23-32 until our next village board meeting passes 4-1, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right, and then I have Resolution 24-07, authorizing an intergovernmental funding agreement between the Commuter Rail Division of the Regional Transportation Authority, or METRA, and the Village of Morton Grove for a new commuter station and reconfigured parking facility. The village is engaged in the design and construction of a new METRA commuter station and accessory parking facility located at 8501 Lehigh Avenue in Morton Grove. METRA is willing to contribute $300,000 toward the project cost of approximately $2,500,000. The village plans to seek bids to construct the project in Q1 2024, prior to which an intergovernmental funding agreement must be executed between METRA and the village in order for the village to receive the designated grant funds at the project's completion. I move that we approve Resolution 24-07.
Second.
Motion made by trustee Whitko, second by trustee Travis to approve resolution 24-07 as presented. Any discussion, questions, or clarification?
Yeah, I have a question. Is there any chance of getting federal funding for this, or is that through the state?
There are opportunities for additional funding. We'll try and seek them, but in many cases, there's a lot of hurdles to go through that would be more costly than the money we would receive. So we've looked at them, but we'll continue to look at them. But the ones that we have come forward for us, It would delay the project many years, and it would also cost us quite a bit of dollars, which would actually almost wipe out the grant that comes from the federal government. We've talked to our legislators about any transportation funding that might be available, and we'll continue to press that forward as objectives for them to help us support this project. So, thank you, and we will continue to look.
Thank you, Ralph.
Thank you. Any other comments? Hearing none, clerk, please call the vote.
Trustee Whitko?
Aye.
Trustee Minks?
Aye.
Trustee Sheba?
Aye.
Trustee Phil?
Aye.
Trustee Travis?
Aye.
Resolution 24-07 passes 5-0, Your Honor.
Thank you. I just want to throw out a comment on this. Everybody touts Sawmill and how great it is, and we appreciate that, and thank you for our residents for the amazing support for it. But this is as vital or more vital, in my opinion, as a gateway into Morton Grove. People come through Morton Grove. Even now, I rode those rails a long time going down to town. And I can tell you, as soon as you get to Gulf and to Glenview, things look good. You get to Morton Grove and south of Morton Grove, and it's kind of, whatever. So this is I think, a very important resolution that we passed tonight, as well as project. It's one of the things that I ran on 10 years ago. And these things take time, but when they come to fruition, you see what happens. So all the naysayers out there that don't think this is going to happen, those are the same ones that told me Moretti's wasn't going to happen, Cooper's Hawk wasn't coming to town. Bring it on. It'll be done, and this is very good. So I'm very proud of this. This is, to me, one of the best things we've done in the last 10 years. So thanks to our staff, somewhat thanks to Metra, because they're not the easiest people to work with, but we want to thank Rodney Craig, who helped us out with this as well, and there are key people at Metra that went to bat for us. So it's no small undertaking, but thanks for the effort. I think this is fantastic. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Any other business brought before the board tonight? Hearing none, presentation of warrants. Trustee Travis in
Yes.
substitution for Trustee Khan.
Yes. First, I'd like to present the warrants for December 26, 2023, in the amount of $1,557,428.92. I move that we accept the warrants as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Trustee Travis, seconded by Trustee Thill to approve the December 26 warrants. Any discussion, question, clarifications? Hearing none, clerk, please call the vote.
Trustee Minks?
Aye.
Trustee Sheba?
Aye.
Trustee Phil?
Aye.
Trustee Travis?
Aye.
Trustee Whitko?
Aye.
The December 26, 2023 warrants pass as presented, 5-0, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay, and next, I'd like to present the warrants for January 9th, 2024, in the amount of $413,731.23, and I move that we accept the warrants of January 9th, 2024, as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Trustee Travis, seconded by Trustee Minks to approve the January 9th, 2024 warrant list. Any discussion, question, clarification? Hearing none, clerk, please call the vote.
Trustee Sheba?
Aye.
Trustee Phil?
Aye.
Trustee Travis?
Aye.
Trustee Whitko?
Aye.
Trustee Minks?
Aye.
January 9th, 2024 warrants pass as presented, 5-0, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. This is residents' comments. This is on non-agenda items. Ashfaq Nagori.
Good evening. Happy New Year. I begin in the name of Allah, the most merciful, the especially merciful. I testify that there is nothing worthy of worship except for Allah, and I testify that Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad were prophets and messengers of Allah. Allah says in the Quran, in chapter 4, verse 135, O you who believe, be upholders of justice and bearers of witness to truth for the sake of Allah, even though it may either be against yourselves or against your parents and kinsmen, or the rich or the poor, for Allah is more concerned with their well-being than you are. Do not then follow your own desires, lest you keep away from justice. If you twist or turn away from the truth, know that Allah is well aware of all that you do. And Allah says in chapter 14, verse 42, and never think that Allah is unaware of what the wrongdoers do. He only delays them for a day when the eyes will stare in horror. Unfortunately, the reality of the matter is that today there are grave injustices occurring in many parts of the world, and in particular the state of Palestine. Over 30,000 people have been killed, with countless thousands buried under the rubble of bombed buildings and tens of thousands of people injured and maimed with loss of limbs, eyesight, hearing, and other faculties. Over 70% of the buildings and infrastructure in the city of Gaza has been destroyed. This genocide and terrorism has continued through the holidays in Palestine by the support of our own government using our hard-earned tax dollars. We need to step up and implore our representatives to stop this terrorism that is being conducted by our government and to stop funding the terrorism and genocide being committed by the Israeli Zionist state, and to work towards a peaceful and just future for all of humanity. We need to tell our representatives to utilize our hard-earned tax dollars to help the people right here in our country who are struggling, to improve our nation's infrastructure, our education system, our healthcare system, instead of sending weapons and money to corporations and countries overseas to kill and destroy other peoples and lands. We need to tell them to stop the genocide in Palestine. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Sean Hallinan, is that right? Yes. Thank you. Come on down.
Good evening. I appreciate the village trustees' time, and my name is Sean Halen, and I'm the Intergovernmental Affairs Officer for the Office of the Clerk of the Circuit Court of Cook County. I'm here to ensure that you and your community residents are aware of the many governmental services the Office of the Clerk of the Circuit Court offers. In December of 2022, the Office of the Clerk of the Circuit Court established a customer service call center. The customer service call center provides an easy method for Cook County residents to call the office to obtain answers to questions without having to go to a court facility. The call center has serviced over 237,000 individuals since its inception. The average wait time is just over 1 minute, and the customer service center provides certified interpreters servicing over 200 languages. The call center's number is 312-603-5030. Once again, the call center's number is 312-603-5030. Additionally, if you are seeking help navigating the courts and do not have legal representation, the Office of the Clerk of the Circuit Court has partnered with the Illinois Justice Corps to offer access to legal aid resources for those who are pro se / self-represented litigants. The senator is in the George Dunn Building at 69 West Washington, room LL17, Pedway level, Chicago, Illinois 60602. Assistance is currently scheduled by appointment only. For appointments, call the Illinois Justice Corps at 872-529-1093. Another service the office supports is the expungement and sealing of criminal records, which provides opportunities for individuals to rebuild their lives. The Office of the Clerk of the Circuit Court has made tremendous strides in streamlining and improving the expungement process by embracing technology to digitize records, making it easier to access and submit documentation. The office has hosted petition drives, reducing 5,600 backlog petition requests to under 100. In early 2024, the office will introduce a division exclusively dedicated to expungements and sealing of records. Additionally, the Office of the Clerk of the Circuit Court has assisted with the driver's license reinstatement process. On January 27, 2024, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Malcolm X College, which is located at 1900 West Jackson, Chicago, Illinois, the office will participate in a license reinstatement fair sponsored by the Pilsen Neighbors Community Council. A much-needed resource I'm happy to highlight is the opening of the Clerk of the Circuit Court's first Domestic Violence Survivor Center. It is a beacon of hope and support in the community, providing a safe haven to those affected by domestic violence. It is located at the Markham Courthouse, 16501 South Kedzie Parkway, Markham, Illinois, and represents a collective determination to protect the vulnerable and provide them with care, legal support, and resources. It is a vital resource that promises to change lives. We invite you to visit the center to see this remarkable resource that is a testament to our unwavering commitment to addressing the pressing issue of domestic violence and offering a lifeline to those who need it most. The Domestic Violence Survivors Center's phone number is 708-232-4084. Another facet of the Office of the Clerk is the Clerks in the Community initiative. This initiative brings our team to where residents live, making the services of the office more accessible and fostering a better understanding of the community's needs. Staff members examine information about evictions, expungement/sealing of records, warrants in a safe, convenient environment. Clerks in the Community helps with e-filing systems such as how to create an account, locate forms, file cases. The clerk of the circuit court staff provides information regarding outstanding court fines and fees and how to pay them remotely, and residents may obtain information about a specific case or record. Folders from the Office of the Clerk of the Circuit Court containing additional information and resources have been given to the village administrator for distribution to the elected officials. The Office of the Clerk of the Circuit Court strives to ensure its customers are educated about the numerous services the agency offers and is dedicated to serving the diverse population of Cook County. Please keep in touch with the office to collaborate and inform Cook County residents about the services and programs of the Office of the Clerk of the Circuit Court. The Clerk of the Circuit Court offers to ensure meaningful community engagement. I appreciate the trustees' time. I appreciate the administrator's time. Thank you to members of the audience, and have a good evening and Happy New Year.
Thank you too, Sean. Thank you for that PSA. It's good to get reminded that these services are available. Thank you very much. No other residents' comments tonight? Hearing none, I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made by trustee Minks, seconded by trustee Whitko to adjourn our meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned at 7:42.